Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no.
This is the face of a man who realizes that he is no longer in control. Facing an onslaught of civil lawsuits and looming federal criminal indictments, the story of Sean P. Diddy Combs' fall from grace offers a sobering lesson on the perils of unchecked ego, power, and influence. Diddy was born in Harlem, New York, and raised in the surrounding suburbs of Mount Vernon. He graduated from Mount St. Michael Academy High School and attended Howard University before dropping out after his second year to pursue music. He started his career in the music industry as an intern at Uptown Records, a record label based in New York City. Diddy quickly rose to the position of talent director and started developing musical acts such as Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. However, in 1993, he was fired due to conflicts with the corporate heads of the label.
So I told Puff he needs to go and create his own opportunity. You red hot. I'm really letting you go so you could get rich.
Yeah, and he did, and you guys together, you did as well. So.
Together with his marquee artist Biggie Smalls, Diddy went on to establish Bad Boy Records, which would go on to become one of the most iconic record labels in the world. From 1994 through 2010, Bad Boy Records' in-house production team would go on to produce global hits for almost every major artist in hip-hop, R&B, and pop. Bad Boy dominated popular music, and Diddy's unparalleled success in the music industry developed a sense of ego and influence that made him believe he could create whatever reality he wanted.
You think I could book that for like the weekend of the 14th when the soundtrack comes out? If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. All right, love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
As Diddy's career accomplishments grew, so did his desire to feed his own ego. Nowhere was this more evident than on his 2002 reality TV series Making the Band. The show's format involved contestants taking part in a variety of challenges, all with the goal of securing a spot in the final lineup of the musical group formed by the end of the season. But, unlike the typical reality TV show of the era, Diddy made his contestants go to excessive lengths to complete tasks entirely unrelated to music. His displays of absolute power and control were such hallmarks of his public persona that he was hilariously parodied in a classic sketch on The Chappelle Show.
All right, this is what's up. You can live here, you can record here, you can be bad boy artists here, but if you want to do it, first y'all gotta walk to Queens and give me a sugar cookie. A sugar cookie, man, this is crazy. We got it. Come on, man. Bad boy. Shutting the studio down. The only way I can keep the studio open is if y'all go out and walk to northern New Jersey, give me a set of left-handed golf clubs. I also need you to take a picture with the midget holding these balloons. Y'all not working like a team. I gotta shut the studio down, yo. All right, the only way I open the studio up now, y'all gotta walk uptown to the Bronx and get breast milk from a Cambodian immigrant. I only drink the finest breast milks. Go out there and milk Cambodia. It's 100% Cambodian, yeah? It's the real shit.
Despite his tendency to be difficult and controlling, fans loved Diddy's antics, and the show was a major success. It was during this peak in his popularity that rumors would develop around his reputation for hosting lavish and exclusive parties attended by celebrities, athletes, and even foreign dignitaries.
Are you hanging out with Diddy? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know what's crazy? I used to follow Diddy back in the day when Diddy had all of the songs out. I would hang out and watch him throw parties.
Sure, he famously threw his white party out.
He would throw a party. One point, I went to Philly, followed him all the way to Philly. He threw a party And he said, yo, Playboy, this party costs $1.5 million
To throw.
I'm like, you are out of your mind.
Although there were whispers that these parties would often involve a mix of drugs, alcohol, and sexual conduct, none of it seemed out of the ordinary for the Hollywood crowd.
Then the real Hollywood came. And I'll tell you what, I'll let you in on a little something. I'm not going to drop names.
Okay.
But I'll never forget, these are black producers. They would come to us and they would tell us about vanity and losing your mind in Hollywood. And they came back from Hollywood to try and expand us. And they sat us down and they said, we saw so-and-so, huge name, so-and-so, huge name, and so-and-so, big name back in the day, chicken hawking at a party. And I went, what? See, you're white. I said, what's chicken hawking? Everyone like, he's white. He don't know chicken hawking. I said, what's chicken hawking? That's when you hanging out with boys that are transvestites. I went, what? That's what I call, to me, Hollywood's a mafia. It's a big, dark mafia.
Yeah, it is.
And then what happens is, I remember one of them, it was like, the mobsters come, they're like, we understand, not mobsters like Italian.
Right.
Whatever,
You're talking
whatever
about
gang you want to
the
call
attorneys,
it.
yeah.
Right? And they come along like, listen, you sign this, you do some movies there, we'll put this all on the table, we got enough money to make this go away. Ping, it's gone. No one ever brings it up. No one ever brings it up with this person. That's when I really saw how dark and so, it was, I get creeped out. I get scared to death. It was soulless.
Yeah.
Despite the open secret of sexual deviancy in Hollywood, there were no public reports of sexual misconduct involving Diddy or any of his parties. In the aftermath of the Me Too movement, however, all of that would change in 2017 when Diddy's former personal chef Cindy Rueda alleged she was sexually harassed while working for him. She also alleged that she was forced to serve him and his guests food while they were engaged in sexual activity. Although the lawsuit received modest media attention, it was subsequently settled in 2019 for an undisclosed amount. Diddy would emerge from the scandal unscathed, even going on to receive numerous awards and widespread recognition from both the media and music industry. He would receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from BET in 2022, the MTV Global Icon Award from the VMAs in 2023, the Key to New York City from Mayor Eric Adams, and even release his 5th studio album to mainstream success, debuting at number 2 on billboards. Everything looked to be going great for Diddy. However, what happened next would send shockwaves around the world and damage Diddy's public image forever.
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
On November 16, 2023, Cassie Ventura, a former girlfriend and artist signed to Bad Boy, filed a civil complaint against Diddy in the U.S. Southern District Court of New York. The complaint detailed how she met Diddy in 2005 when she was 19 years old and he was 37. She also claims he signed her to his record label and he used his status as her boss to lure her into a drug-fueled romantic relationship with him. The complaint included explosive allegations that Diddy often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on her, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Cassie further alleges that Diddy forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while he masturbated and filmed the encounters, blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in her, and even raped her in her own home after she tried to leave him. The potential fallout from the bombshell allegations forced Diddy to quickly settle the suit less than 24 hours of its filing. However, the damage had already been done. Just 6 days after settling the lawsuit with Cassie, 2 more lawsuits alleging sexual assault were filed in New York. A third lawsuit filed by a Jane Doe accuses Diddy of plying the plaintiff with drugs and alcohol, then raping her at his New York studio in 2003 when she was 17. Amidst this onslaught of lawsuits, Diddy would deny all the allegations made against him by issuing a statement on his Instagram account, but in the court of public opinion, this post would do little to sway people's thoughts on his guilt. To make things worse, another bombshell lawsuit was filed against Diddy by Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a producer credited on his 2023 album. Rodney claims to have hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Diddy, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activities, including irrefutable evidence of the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, and marijuana, the displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms, and Diddy providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers.
They learn the tricks of the trade. For instance, guys don't put those pills that they get to the girls in the champagne bottles because they popping them in front of them. Most of those girls, especially if they like mixed drinks, you understand, they see the bottles when they open them, and they trying to keep their eyes on because they don't want to get no kind of drugs put in their system. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They didn't put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies, the ecstasy, the E's, all whatever they put it in the juice. Now, those girls who like the mixed drinks, you understand what I'm saying? They gonna pour their own sexual act because they don't understand it ain't in the bottles, it's in the juice. Those guys, they learn that and they put it to those girls who don't know no better.
The lawsuit goes on to allege that Diddy admitted in engaging in sexual intercourse with a rapper and R&B singer and producer Stevie J. The internet quickly jumped on this and used the associated footnote to conclude that the rapper referenced in the allegation was Philadelphia artist Meek Mill. This resulted in perhaps the most bizarre series of tweets from Meek, aiming to somehow refute the allegations by making references to his donations to black people, his love for female genitalia, and his desire to have 10% of his music earnings go to the Philadelphia school system. The internet also implied that R&B artist Usher Raymond was the singer referenced in the lawsuit and resurfaced an old clip of Usher on The Howard Stern Show discussing his early encounters with Diddy as a teenager.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Begin tonight with some breaking news. The Department of Homeland Security raided multiple homes of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs this afternoon. U.S. officials tell CBS News that the raids in Los Angeles and Miami Beach are part of a possible ongoing sex trafficking investigation. The 54-year-old founder of Bad Boy Records has been accused of sexual misconduct, including rape and assault by several women since November. CBS's Carter Evans has the developing details.
The lawsuits and evidence submitted to the federal district court in New York seem to have been sufficient for the feds to establish probable cause to secure a search warrant for Diddy's homes. We can only speculate as to what comes next, but the similarities between the current situation and other prominent cases such as Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and Jeffrey Epstein imply this may just be the beginning of the end for the bad boy mogul.